Hey, we're back. This is another episode of Indie Author Insights, and we have the man, the legend, Mr. Mike Guinn of Mike Guinn Entertainment. How we doing, Mike?
I'm blessed, man. Thank you for having me, brother. I'm excited.
Man, I'm so happy to have you here, brother. I've learned so much from you. I often share with people. I would not have had the opportunity to even do my first spoken word piece if it was not for this man creating a platform. So I am eternally grateful. Thank you for all you do for the poets, brother. I appreciate that.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Tell them a little bit about yourself and a little bit about some projects you got going around Dallas.
Well, you know what? I'm originally from East Texas. Don't judge me. It's all right. Little country. East Texas, man. Majored in social work, got a master's in social work, worked for Child Protective Services for a long time, started writing as a source of therapy or venting, and then the rest is history. Got into poetry slams, and then that transformed into acting, and then motivational speaking, and then hosting events and creating platforms for other poets, and then took it a step farther, started doing workshops, and after that, it just became kind of a movement, or should I say a ministry for me, to make sure that once I mentor someone, it's not just about the writing, it's about a lot more. So that led me to do events and have a kind of a theme in these events and kind of make it a more social awareness, and then take it, have these events that are about supporting the poets, giving them a feature when they never had one before. So because of that, it's got me connected to a lot of different venues, House of Blues, other stuff I've been doing. So it's great. Yeah, so I do a lot of stuff around the Metroplex, just having fun, no big deal.
Incredible. You do some incredible stuff. You touch a lot of people's lives. I've seen it happen over and over and over again. Another one in particular, another thing, way that Mike Guinn has been a blessing to my life. You created a writing workshop to help people learn some tips when it came to writing and introduce them to a stage presence and help them work through some of the stage jitters, some of the nervous jitters. Tell us a little bit about your workshop.
Well, you know what? That workshop is called the Masterclass. Mm-hmm. And what I've done is I've come up with a series of workshops that each one of them kind of work on different things. My next workshop is November 20th, actually. It's called Outside the Comfort Zone. And it's going to help those, of course, you're not being one of them, you're a professional, but it's gonna get the rookie a chance to learn how to write and outside the comfort zone, and then perform so they can be acclimated to this whole stage thing. And then, as you know how we do, we create a show around that workshop, to get free materials. But that's what we're doing. So I like creating these workshops because they give an opportunity for me to work, maybe one-on-one or one-on-six with some of these amazing people who are already writing. Some of them may have already published a book, but they don't know how to walk into that. So I just let them know that it's easier than what they think. They already have all the tools, and I just kind of get them to feel comfortable, to feel secure, and just, giving in to what's already inside them. And so that's what the workshops are mainly about, is really kind of just helping them see themselves. That's all it is.
Yeah, and they are so helpful. I encourage anybody to tap into this resource. Mike makes these workshops available periodically, but anytime you got a Mike Guinn workshop, you hear about something that he's creating, you definitely want to tap into that. Mike, I know you've written tons of books. Most of the books that you write, you always open up and invite other authors to come in and be a part of a collective project like anthologies or poem collections or what have you. But I know you have some personal books that you've written. Do you have a couple of those with you?
Personal books? Oh, you mean these right here?
Yeah. That's the one. That's the one. Yeah. Published works. Yeah.
Yeah, these are my published works. They're available everywhere. I like people to get them from me. And, I try to, when I do stuff, I have a separate thing. I have the good book right here and the bad, good, bad. And that way, this one I can take to church. This one stays home. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So yeah, I managed to publish a couple of books. So one of them is called Crying in Colors. And the other one is called Moist. One of them is sensual. And one of them is just kind of a poetic biography of my life in words. So yeah, and of course I've done a lot of other things, anthologies and other collections, all over the country and all over the world. So I'm really quite proud that I'm able to kind of create these opportunities for us to kind of have an instant literary community just by being a part of the collection. So I'm proud of that. But these are my two babies right here.
Bro, you changed my sister's life when you included Sister Melanie Johnson, who's a published author, by the way, but I don't know if, I know you were instrumental in stirring the pot on that gift, because a lot of times they just sleeping on it. And when you're creating all of these publications, what do you do to come up with your titles? How do you do that?
You know what? Some of the titles are inspired by real life events. Some of them are something like, for example, if I'm thinking of the people that possibly could be involved in them, then some of it is about what I think they would connect to, you know? So, you know, like, for example, we had that anthology where we did the, you know, where it was inspired by the George Floyd incident. And so I came up with this whole thing, you know, on my knees, or, you know, whatever that title was for that book, but it connected to the moment, to the movement. And so it was easy to get people to connect to that. And that made it a great, you know, a publication. But for the most part, you know, I'm just inspired by life events and my own stuff. But, you know, we all can do it, man. All we have to do is just take our time and not overthink it and just kind of go with our intuition. We all have it inside us. We just got to trust it. So that's trust. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, okay. So you had these moments. I'm sure we all had these moments where some's nudging us, some's just urging us to do that. And some people refer to them, or something you see, some you're looking at just inspires you. And some people refer to them as prompts. How important is it to master moving on those prompts when you move like that? How important is it to master developing writing from the prompts? And how can they do that?
It's okay. So a writing prompt, or if you're prompted by something, the reason why it's important to move on that is because if there's something in you that came up, or if you're exposed to a writing prompt. For me in my workshops, I put out writing prompts, but a lot of people may be prompted by something that inspire them. It's important that you move on that immediately. You know, don't overthink it. Just walk into whatever that inspiration, that prompt, stirs, and let's go with that. And so the reason why that's important, because if you don't do it, then you'll lose whatever that inspiration is that comes from being exposed to that prompt. And that inspiration could end up being something that inspires someone else, that motivates someone else, but they won't be inspired or motivated if they never get a chance to hear it. So you never know what that gut instinct, that inspiration in you that makes you, that prompts you. If you don't move on that, then you lose the opportunity to kind of, open a door inside yourself and let whatever it is out. So that's why it's important to move on that.
Especially, any writing, but especially when you're dealing with poetry and spoken word, because so much of it connects you to the world around you and connects the world around you to you, because so many people have gone through similar situations or experiencing some of the same pains. And I think for a poet, it would be reckless if we get into only moving when the prompts come. So I know you can share some with us. It's just like working out. You have to produce words regularly. So can you share something with us about producing words, just writing?
Well, regularly? You know what? Well, you're right. You're right, CT. It is exactly about. It's the same thing as if you're sculpting your body, or if you're going to the gym, or if you're practicing getting ready for something. You have to continue to write and work on your craft. If you don't use it, you will lose it. And and when you do that, to me, when you work on your craft regularly and you sharpen that skill, it becomes even more fine-tuned and honed. Because if I'm writing regularly, eventually I'm going to want to get out and I want to share it. And when I share it, I'm going to share it around people like CT and Ember and some other people. And then we're going to all start sharpening each other, and then our writing elevates. And we may not realize this, but we take whatever is in that universe, in that community, wherever we are, and we bring it back. And then we continue this. It's like lighting a fuse. We continue that and we elevate, we write from that, we get new ideas. So yeah, you definitely have to move on that, because if you don't, then it's almost like letting a bicycle sit. It gets rust, and it takes, sometimes you have to replace parts. I mean, I'm just, maybe that's a loose analogy, but I'm just saying, you gotta use the gift.
Yeah.
I have the thing I say that if God gave me this gift, it was given to me, and I have a responsibility to do whatever I can to get it out of my system, so that I could, look at it and admire it and be inspired by it. And it pushes me. It pushes my pen when I do that.
I love it. I love it, man. You're such an inspiration, bro. And every once in a while, I know for myself, I get out, I do a little poetry, and then I might fall back and sit for 4 or 5 months or something like that. But it's a grave danger in just letting it sit. So can you share a little bit and encourage them so they don't abandon it? It's dangerous to abandon your gift. Can you encourage a writer?
Yeah, well, the reason why, I would encourage a writer to not, sit on your gift like that, mainly because sometimes, you mentioned 5 months, sometimes it could be 5 years. And when you do that, you kind of lose touch, or not lose touch, but you kind of lose the momentum of being able to, stay connected to what's going on. I hate to say current events, but what's relevant and what resonates with the now, and so when you're able to write and capture what's going on now, you're able to build on that when you're able to look back and see what you've written a year ago. But it's kind of hard to reconnect the dots when it's a longer time between writing. So you have to keep it going, especially if you got some skill, especially if you've been writing. It's very dangerous not to continue to write. So you should always write something, even if it's just a journal. Even if it's a notepad, just write something, put it away, but every day, kind of practice, kind of make it an exercise. You can do it at night, and it's good for me. What I do is I'll write at night, right before I go to sleep, and when I wake up in the morning, I don't even realize that I wrote what I wrote. But I realize that I need to purge, or I need to let it out, so it's there. And because if I don't, maybe I would have not written that. And some of the best things I've written have been some things I've written right before I went to sleep, just as a practice. And then, I'm able to come back to that. And next thing you know, they're in a book, or they've something that's inspired, somebody in the audience, and they think, I'm doing some TV work. You never know. But you've got to. The dangerous thing to do is to have a gift and not use it. To me, that's dangerous. So yeah, just write every day.
Just write every day. I love it. Mike, I'm so happy you came to share with us today. I am going to go out on the ledge and see if the legend, Mr. Mike Guinn himself, will share just a little piece of poetry. Just a little piece of his poetry.
Okay, all right. Well,
show him how it's done. Show him how it's done.
I'm gonna see if I can find something. Well, you know what? I got something. I'll do something from memory.
Thank you.
Here it is. I'll do a poem and not spoken word as much. Let's do a poem.
Okay.
All right. Here it is. Poem I wrote for my grandmother. It's a poem. See my dog? Boy, I tell you. Here it is. High up in a clear blue sky, I rise, soaring in symphonies, gliding upon an orchestra of freedom. Now, as I fly, I take a deep breath and taste the sun laughing in lemon drops, while clouds smile soft candy cotton upon my face. And this moment becomes the sweetest memory I've ever known. Wings don't fail me now. Heaven howls a rhapsody that beckons the air beneath these wings to be at my command forever. Strong, bold breezes cool the aches of my feathers, ruffling them with melodies, killing them softly with wind songs, guiding me back home where I belong. Somehow I have to find my way to tomorrow. You see, my destiny is waiting for me there, hiding in between drum beats, waiting in between whispers, caressing my soul with the sound of silence. And as I spread these wings, I'll cut like black thunder, slicing the sky, creating soliloquies against the wind and set the night on fire. You see, nothing will stop my flight because I plan on flying forever. So wings, don't fail me now. I'm almost home. Poem.
Oh, man, that's how you do it. That's how it's done. Mike, we love you, man. Share with everybody that's listening how they can contact you, where they can find you. And, you know, if they're looking for somebody to come do some events, Mike does hosting, he does event planning. He will build these shows for you. Tell them how to get in touch with you.
Well, you know, hey, listen, you can see my agent. His name is CT. See him. I'm kidding. You can just find me. Simple, just Google Mike Guinn, Guinn, or you can go to MikeGuinn.biz, or just, you know, if you're a friend of CT, I'm a friend of his on Facebook. But it's simple. Just Google Mike Guinn, and you'll find me, y'all. And I appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Man, we appreciate you, Brother Mike. We appreciate everybody that's listening. This has been another episode of Indie Author Insights, the show where we try to share information to authors to help them prepare, make them better writers, help them understand publishing a little bit better. Subscribe to the channel. When you go down through the description, then we'll leave all the links so you know exactly how to get in touch with Mike. And we appreciate you guys for chiming in.